Well, hello, traders and investors. LA Little here, and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. Take a look at these markets from a neoclassical perspective, asking ourselves each day what happened today. What does it tell us about the coming days? I do a show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday, broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's archived on YouTube, and it's under the channel LA Little. If you haven't subscribed to the show, want to, just reach up in the right-hand corner and do so. Anytime I push content, you'll get a notification. As far as the scheduling, the rest of the week, I am off. Well, no show tomorrow or Thursday, Thanksgiving Thursday. So a trade shortened week. Not much is going to happen tomorrow. And most likely it's going to be what you have been seeing, and that is a market that just keeps grinding higher. Russell up 12, NASDAQ up 17, Dow 67, and the S&P a little over almost 5 points. So you got basically another 0.25% to the upside. Oil was down a little bit today. Gold and silver flat on the gold, a little bit up on silver. Bonds basically flat. Dollar a little bit down and then reversed towards the end of the day. Over in Europe, you got Switzerland that keeps getting hammered lower, and you have the rest of Europe slowly working its way the other way. And over in Asia, it's pretty much flat to higher, even with this dollar. Looking at the indexes here, another day of up. Remember on this big move now that's in its second week, finishing up now, you had one day that we should have got some sort of reversal and we didn't. So when we don't get that, what does it do? It tells you it's stronger than you think it is. And what does that mean? That means this market just keeps grinding to the north. You get the breakout here, confirmed, reaffirmed. New highs, 2,200. Here we are. This thing, once it takes a break, wherever that comes from, right, you're going to get a B point somewhere. Eventually, you're going to get a pullback. The fact that this has now stretched, right, it's going to give it a good chance of holding the bullish retest region when it comes back, right? That's going to leave a very steep ABCD structure to the upside if it works out that way. You're going to have big support coming into these two bars. In other words, here and here. And so when you look at it from all those perspectives, right, what that says is anything from there to there is probably going to get bought. And so when you look at it from that perspective, how much higher is it going to go? I don't know. But when it does return, they're going to come right back in and buy this thing. Looking at it on the weekly, you can see the breakout on the weekly. If it holds through the week, which is probably likely at this point, you'll get the break on the weekly as well. Finally moving to the monthly. There's a lot of folks that do the classical stuff, and they'll draw all these lines for you and tell you how, look how that was perfect, right? Came right back to it. Folks, all that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is supply and demand. You came back into a swing point high. This is the retest, regenerate. If this thing can hold and regenerate higher, then you got something cooking. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And in the end, that is what it has done. If it holds and regenerates, then it can go off and do its ABCD structures. And when you take a look at those structures, you actually have one to here, back to there, and up again. So take your ABCD structures, project them out to about 23 plus. That's where this market is attempting to go. Looking on the NASDAQ, which had been lagging, now it's broken out as well. It's suspect, but it has broken out. It extends today too. Get a little doji top, but folks, you're higher, you can go higher. Same thing here on the NDX. The NDX is the only one that hasn't got back up there. That's because big cap tech is lagging. Going to go for these highs before it's over. And matter of fact, usually what happens, it's kind of amazing, but what happens many times is the lagging index, the one that's lagging, is the one that has to come up here and hit its highs before everything kind of turns. You're not that far away now, right? We're sitting at, what are we at, 48.84. The highest one's 49.11. So we're talking about 30 points. That's basically one good day. Looking at the Russell, of course, is the magical machine. Up again, up big again today. Folks, this is one heck of a run. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've traded for 30 plus years now. 11.56 was the low. top of is 1334. You're almost 200 points higher on 1156 base. We're talking like 16% almost. Straight up. No break. Every day. And I keep counting these. I keep forgetting how many it is. 5, 10, 13 of them straight up. Pretty amazing. If we, I want to take a look, we can sit here and, gawk at these charts, but instead of doing that, let's go take a quick look at some stuff we haven't looked at recently. In particular, I want to look at the bond markets. I want to see how these are shaping up. I'm just going to flip through them here with you. This is the U.S. bonds, the aggregates. So it's kind of like the 30-year in a way. It's the pushing down 113, 108. That's a pretty good decline. Pretty good decline. But still, it's a big range, right, when you look at it on a monthly. So, I don't know if this is anything to get totally worried about, at least not yet. The Vanguard total bond, let's go to the international bonds. Let's see what these look like. So they sold off pretty good. Yeah, but still, this doesn't look that bad. You're just coming back to do a retest regen. That doesn't look bad. So I don't see the fear trade here in terms of bonds. I don't see things happening badly. Junk bonds actually going up. I'm guessing high quality corp bonds are going to be going up as well. Let's see. No, those are not. So people are reaching for yield. That tells you there's no fear. Finally, let's look at the TLT and just wallowing down here at the lows. Can't move. So I don't see anything in the bond markets to totally freak anything out. Let's take a quick look at the currency markets. You got 4 central banks coming up in December. And of course, the biggest one is going to be the euro. You've also got the Italian referendum. And the euro is down here, cannot lift, and hit that low with volume and broke it. So that looks to me like that is a pretty clean break. I mean, you're at the lows on a monthly. You're not going to have the volume. May get a little bounce out of here from the monthly perspective, but you're trying to break down again and do another leg to the downside. Now, if this happens, this is going to be tough on the markets. And what I mean by that, consolidation and another leg to the downside if that happens, because that's going to shoot the dollar higher, and that's going to eat into corporate profits, and that will be a problem at some point. That's a 35-point move from here to here on this first leg down. 35 on 137, that's roughly 25% probably or so. If we project 25% from here, 102, that would take you down to about 75. 75 on the dollar. That would be pretty interesting. Let's look at the base metals. These guys were moving today. So I'll just look at the DBB. So that one's starting to move back up. A nice big run happening in the base metals. That was the strength today. You keep seeing it rotate around. Today it was the base metals. Let me take a quick look at the dollar as it's heading up and breaking these highs, or attempting to. Yeah, so it had volume on that break. And on the monthly, it's going to have the volume as well. It's going to go tag the top before it's over with. So I think that dollar at least is going to find its way to the top before it's done. Folks, if you're doing anything with this market, as I've said repeatedly, the market's stronger than you think. When it's stronger than you think, you want to stay with it. You don't want to play with it. Stay with it. When it gives you a retrace, you want to buy some more, right? If and when. Of course, it will at some point, but you want to buy more. You don't want to be scared of the market. Go with what's working. Go with the strong and stay long. I'll see you next time. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll be back here next Monday. Have a great one. Take care. Good night.